Amazon South Africa launched today and I tried it out. I actually got an order, same day delivery, and I'm going to give you all of my experiences, all of my first impressions about Amazon South Africa, and whether or not TakeAlot is under threat, the retail market is under threat. Let's have a conversation. So it landed today, and I thought, let me just buy something simple, something cheap, something that I can afford. And I bought a book and I chose the 1 day delivery option. I ordered at about 9 a.m. and I got my delivery at about 5 p.m. It was delivered by the courier guy. The guy who delivered it was a little bit aggro, he was calling me all the time, and I was in a Zoom meeting. But aside from that, successfully delivered. I got it on time. Now, when I looked around on the Amazon.coza website and I used the app, I shifted my app from the .com to the .co.za. And I've used Amazon before. I once bought something from America while in South Africa, and once bought something in America to America, and there are differences. But one of the things that has always attracted me to Amazon is that they have this large range of items that are not typically stocked in South Africa, be it Bluetooth keyboards, headphones, earphones, electronic goods devices, and they also sell, toys for Abantu Badal, all of those kind of things. So I thought Amazon has a great range. Now, when it comes to the South African Amazon, the range at the time of launch was limited and similar to the kinds of things that you would see on the South African store. On the South African, not store, but TakeAlot. So, for example, there's a brand company that I love called TomTok. They sell lots of cool bags. You can get TomTok bags and other city sling bags on Amazon.com. You cannot get a TomTok bag today at the time of launch on Amazon.co.za. But you can get a TomTok bag at a significantly higher price than you would get it on Amazon.com on TakeAlot. So that just shows you that the range at the time of launch is not necessarily matching what you would get on the American store, which is the whole appeal. The other thing that I like about Amazon is the Amazon Basics line of products. These are typical electronic products or even fashion items that you can get the basics on Amazon.com. But right now, at the time of launch, Amazon Basics are not available for the South African market. So all of those great products that Americans get, budget product, almost like, the Woolies brand type of products, they're not available at the time of launch. So that's something that definitely reduces the appeal. The price of the book that I bought was 200 rands more on Amazon.co.za than it is on Amazon.com. It's a book that I need. It's a book that I've always read, loved by my favorite philosopher, American philosopher, contemporary American philosopher. I lost it. It's a 2009, 2010 book. But if you get it on Amazon.com, it's cheaper than, obviously there's a delivery fee, etc., etc. But that price discrepancy is something that shouldn't exist. Temu, you can buy stuff for 300 Rand and basically get it after paying the duty, and the delivery cost is either free or next to nothing. So the whole value proposition for Amazon, in my opinion, has been that you will be able to get the kind of range that you get in America here locally. So as things stand right now, the price differential from Amazon to Amazon is pretty significant, and kind of makes you wonder just if they're going to be able to get things correct and competitive with companies like Shein and Temu. Obviously, Amazon sells different quality of products than Shein and Temu, but at a certain price bracket and a certain product range, that differential is negligible. So that's number one. The second thing is that some of the stuff that they're selling is more expensive than TakeAlot. So, for example, if you look at these earphones that are made by Anchor, AirPod, replicas, whatever, these are essentially the same price on Amazon and TakeAlot. But if you look at this smart band smartwatch, Redmi smartwatch, it's actually cheaper in store at the Hi-Fi Corporation. Then it's cheaper on TakeAlot than it is on Amazon. But it's actually not available on Amazon right now. You have to wait so that they're going to order it and then you're going to be able to get it. But it costs more on Amazon than it does cost on TakeAlot or in store. So you're actually better off just going in store and getting the device in store than actually buying it online. So that's the long and short of the price, the range. The 1-day delivery, of course, worked, and that's a better proposition than Temu can give you at this particular moment. But the market now, the e-commerce market is basically now Temu, Shein, TakeAlot, Amazon. What is going to be the impact of having these companies around? At this particular point, to be quite honest, I actually didn't think Amazon would launch before the election because the behaviors of Amazon, its hostility to unions, its impact on a variety of sectors, sometimes makes it a very hot political football. So we've been hearing that Amazon is going to launch for a very long time. And I thought to myself, they're going to launch, but they're not going to do it during elections, surely, because it's going to become a political football. But maybe they just thought, hey, been waiting for so long, let's just go ahead. Maybe there was no political calculation whatsoever. They launched when they launched. But now we do have to think about what will the impact be on traditional retail, companies such as Incredible Connection, that kind of thing. Amazon has had an impact on the mall economy in general, because as more and more people use the Amazon marketplace, less and less people feel inclined to go to the mall. And sometimes during the week you can't go because you got work, you got to pick kids up from school, a variety of things. Maybe your commutes are too long, there's just no time, and on the weekend you're exhausted. So what Amazon provides is an alternative. I mean, all of these retail marketplaces, digital marketplaces, provide that alternative to going there in person, schlepping in the mall, so to speak. So there is a very real risk to the retail sector. And we have to think about that because in South Africa, millions of people work in retail. So if you start to have certain retail stores being unable to compete with Temu, Shein, Amazon, and TakeAlot, this is going to affect the labor market significantly and potentially could lead to more unemployment, something that is not desirable from a policy framework because you don't want to increase unemployment. It doesn't look as if the politicians have really been trying to impede the market entry of these particular actors, Temu, Shein, and Amazon. They made it through. There was some resistance to the emergence of Amazon, but they finally made it through. They chose to situate their headquarters in Cape Town. And Cape Town has been actually very attractive as a destination for a lot of these big companies when they land in South Africa. But that's the situation. Now, the retail market in terms of the retail workers is definitely at risk long term and even short to medium term as a result of this. But there is an opportunity that exists for local manufacturing. So Amazon does allow retailers to be able, producers to be able to go on platform, sellers to sell their products on the platform. It's often difficult to advertise and reach a market, but when they launch in a new place, they sometimes encourage that kind of e-commerce activity. So if they are local manufacturers making local products that are differentiated, that are unique, that are proudly South African in their design, makeup, or whatever the case may be, those products have a chance of actually doing well on the Amazon market. And they are more likely to make it through because there's less gatekeeping in the respect of Amazon will take a lot of products on and let customers decide whether they like it or not. Whereas in the supermarkets, we've seen people struggle to actually be able to get onto the shelf. So there's an opportunity here that there may be some winners in the production and the manufacturing side. And that's one of the policy objectives of many political parties, is to increase the manufacturing, because manufacturing in South Africa is low. And you'll have heard that there has been deindustrialization of the South African, manufacturing sector, with less factories, less high-tech stuff happening, and some companies even saying that they're going to move out of South Africa because it's no longer a friendly environment for manufacturing. So there are some opportunities, very real opportunities here for local manufacturers to be able to jump on to Amazon, to be able to sell their products and make some money. So it will be interesting to see if anyone takes advantage of that. It's also going to be interesting to see how policymakers respond to these developments going into the seventh administration, seventh parliament, so to speak, because this day today, 7 May, could be one of the most historic days in the retail sector of South Africa, because Amazon is no joke. Jeff Bezos is no joke. This company is a behemoth in terms of retail. It has reshaped the American retail space in a significant way and continues to reshape that space. So right now, I've not seen prominent politicians speak much on this particular development, even though there are concerns that should arise from the emergence of Amazon in the space. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is just the benefit to the consumer. A lot of times we want competition in the market because competition is good for innovation. Competition is good for, people competing on price. Competition is good for service delivery. I think that having Temushin, Amazon, and TakeAlot on the market is definitely going to lead to competition. I'm hoping that because this was just their launch day, this is the worst version of Amazon.co.za or the app that it will ever be. So they're probably going to figure out their logistics. They're probably going to figure out how to do their deliveries. We're probably going to start seeing Amazon Prime trucks handling the deliveries. We're probably going to see a lot of Amazon cars on the road, branded Amazon as well. But that's not necessarily going to happen in the short to medium term. And that in and of itself is going to create business for people who maybe don't want to be driving Uber or maybe want to be supplementing their income whilst they do that as well. We're definitely going to see people start to be in that logistics business, and unemployment is high in South Africa. So any opportunity that exists to create that employment should be embraced. And perhaps Amazon can look into funding, people to buy vehicles so that they can participate in the delivery side of the business. But is this good for consumers purely from a perspective of having a wider range of products? If Amazon does deliver that wide range, like if they start to make it match the American store, oh my gosh, they have a lot of good stuff there at good prices. And, I've been waiting to get stuff for years that just because it's got such a high delivery price, you can't get it. But if they can sell the same products that are on the American store at similar price ranges, oh, you're going to have fun, just like getting like gadgets and trinkets and all kinds of things and household essentials too, like the Amazon basics that we spoke about. So I think it's going to be good in the short term for consumers, but we do have to think about that impact on the whole economy, on manufacturing, on retail, because Amazon can be quite disruptive to the retail sector in a country that it emerges in. Anyway, what do you think? Are you excited for Amazon? Have you got the app? Have you ever used Amazon before? Are you already going to check what's on sale for you for Amazon? Let's have a conversation.